Okay, so we'll make a start then. Apologies for absence.
Peter Yates, Justin Hill, Councillor Mary Rimmer and Jonathan Griffiths.
Thank you. Apologies noted. Next item, minutes of the previous AGM. These were sent out after the last AGM, but of course it was a year ago, so memories might be a bit faded. So I just want a second just to glance through them. You're most welcome just to take a minute just to remind yourself. Okay, thank you. Moving through to item 5, annual report, review of the year. Simon Skidmore, the Community Empowerment Network Manager. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and you're all extremely welcome to our annual general meeting and conference that we decided to hold today on active citizens or developing active citizens. I think the theme of it comes at a very opportune time in terms of where we are at the moment, in terms of the way that some of the issues the country's facing at the moment in relation to development of big society, the cuts which are just upon us at the moment. And there's going to be obviously a lot of difficulties and challenges ahead for lots of voluntary and community organisations, but there's some particular challenges, especially for the community sector within what is going to be happening, which is going to affect all of us. And I think as I've got 10 minutes to talk today about a little bit about some of the work that we've been doing over the past year. It's been an extremely busy year for the CEA. During the last 12 months, we've been involved in all kinds of different things. We've been delivering a Connecting Communities programme across the North West. That was a piece of work that we managed to get a contract for with the Department of Communities and local government. That was a piece of work we was doing about social cohesion in a number of different communities across Lancashire and across the region. We've also been doing some work more locally, training with one or two of the community groups in the Moss Bank area as well, around making communities feel safer. We've been to quite a number of events and conferences very, very recently, actually in the autumn, in relation to big society and localism. There's a few more that we're about to go to, and we're in the process of producing some briefings with that. We've held 6 open meetings during the year on a variety of different projects in different themes in relation to recycling. We've held one on the town centre. We've been involved in some different scrutiny reviews, and it's all been some very exciting things to get involved in different pieces of work. I'm really, really pleased and delighted to report as well that in the summer holidays we applied for a funding application to the British Council. You may or may not have heard of the British Council. It's a government quango, but it aims to build relationships between different communities across Europe and around the world. And we've been successful in actually applying for some funding from the British Council. 200 organisations applied, thereabouts. I think it was about 180, but unless it was in that region. 30 got interviewed as part of the programme, and we're one of 22 that's been accepted onto the programme, which is absolutely fantastic news. It actually involves us being partnered with another country, and we've since found out that we've actually been partnered up with 2 countries, both with Azerbaijan and Georgia, and we're going to be holding an international exchange with both of those countries in 2011. We're going to be going, hopefully, to visit both of those countries as part of a cultural learning visit in 2011 in July, and we're hoping to host both of those countries. So they'll be coming here in July, I should say, and we're hoping to go over and travel over there sometime probably in May or June. The visitors from both of those countries and delegates are due to come over in January for a scoping visit to look at how we're going to plan that visit. But the whole thing is about developing active citizens and adding a global dimension to the work that we do. So a substantial part of both the visits will be to go over and have a look at different community projects taking place, both in Georgia and Azerbaijan, and they're going to have the opportunity to come to St Helens, probably visit quite a number of people who are actually in the room today in terms of different community projects, different community centres, heritage projects, horticultural projects. There's a whole range of different things going on, and part of the challenge as well that we've got to do as well, it's about actually recruiting 30 new people to actually get more active in the community and to develop some new social action projects. That's going to be sort of like the mainstay of our work for certainly the first part of 2011. Some of the things that we've been doing more recently, we're currently doing a research project in the Fingerpost area of St Helens, And the reason why we've chosen finger post is partly due to the considerable health inequalities that do exist in that particular community. One of Anne's research students, who is quite kindly is supporting us in that at the moment. She's volunteering to do the research in the finger post area. She's currently doing a number of different interviews with residents in the area, with local businesses. She's interviewing some health professionals as well in relation to looking at what can be done in terms of developing the community a little bit more. Part of the plan is as well is to develop, it is towards developing a community-led plan. We're currently working with Cheshire Community Action in relation to that piece of work at the moment. Cheshire Community Action specialise in something what's called community-led planning, where we're trying to encourage more community organisations to actually identify their own needs and set out the stall of how they want to develop their communities in the future. I think it's going to become more and more critical, community-led planning. It's something which the new coalition government seems to be very, very interested in. And the Community First funding, which is currently becoming available, is actually tied into this actual process of community-led planning, where they want communities to actually identify their own needs and then develop an action plan to address them as part of, I suppose, the big society agenda. So the next 12 months, I think, it's going to be challenging, but it's also, I think, going to be a lot of fun and a lot of hard work. And I think it's going to be very much a very worthwhile learning experience for everybody who's going to be involved. So if you're keen to get involved, and I'm sure you will be extremely interested in the work that we are going to be doing as part of this cultural exchange, because it's going to involve as many different community groups across St Helens as possible, and that obviously is going to transpire across all different ages as well and different parts of the borough. So please do get involved in that particular project. It's good to see so many of you here today and continue to support the CEN in different ways, and we're hopefully going to be looking forward in different ways we can support you further in 2011. Two of our speakers who are here today, or I should say 3 speakers. We've got Kate Hathaway, who works for Urban Forum. She's come to do a presentation today on some of the things which Urban Forum are working on, in particular the Big Society. The Community Empowerment Network is a member of Urban Forum and are very supportive towards some of the work that different community groups do, and I'm really delighted that Kate's here today. We've also got Gary Coppich, who sat over there. Gary works for an organisation based in Salford and Manchester, People's Voice Media. They encourage community reporting in different ways to actually look at it as a vehicle for community empowerment and community development. One of the things that some of our panel members are interested in are actually looking at ways in which we can communicate more effectively with the community by the possibility of developing a new community newspaper. And I'm sure Gary's got lots of tips and ideas in terms of how that can happen. We've also got Peter Badley, who's attending here today from the Speakers Corner Trust. Peter is a former MP for the Wrekin constituency in Shropshire. He's the director of the Speakers Corner Trust, and he will be coming today to talk to us about some of the ways in which the Speakers Trust have been developing some Speakers Corners in different parts of towns across the UK. And last but not least, I can see she's just come through the door. Jill Barlow from St Helens Council, who's one of the Parks Development Officers. Jill's currently been involved in developing the bid for the Victoria Park Heritage Lottery project where we are today. And I know Anne's group as well, the Friends of Victoria Park, have been involved in some of the work, actually instigating to move this project forward. So I'm delighted that Jill's here today, and Jill's going to be doing a little bit of a walking tour around the park to show you some of the different plans which are taking place in relation to the bid. So thank you very much, and keep supporting us, and we'll do our best to keep supporting you in 2011.